The Senate worked overnight to approve $9.4 billion in spending cuts requested by President Trump. The final vote was 51-48, with 2 Republicans opposing the measure. That was Senator Susan Collins of Maine and Lisa Murkowski of Alaska. This vote brings President Trump one step closer to having his Department of Government Efficiency cuts approved by Congress. NBC News correspondent, Capitol Hill correspondent, I should say, Julie Sirkin joins us from Washington with more on this. Hey, Julie, good morning. So what more can you tell us about this overnight vote, the cuts that are in this bill, and what I just mentioned there, sort of like the approval from DOJ, since we already saw so much of that happen?
Yeah, I think, Savannah, senators are unfortunately getting used to pulling all-nighters and voting overnight, because we've seen this trend over the last couple of months as they try to pass the president's key agenda items. And this was certainly high on the list for the president. This is a rare move for Congress to make, because essentially what they're doing in passing this $9 billion rescissions package is giving back the funding they already appropriated. This is why you saw 2 Senate Republicans ultimately vote against this package, which would cut funding to foreign aid and also public broadcasting here back home. Senator Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski had concerns about those cuts, but also concerns about what precedent this would set in ceding power to the executive branch, even more power. The last time this happened was back in the 1990s, when a president had signed a rescissions package. So a really rare move here happening overnight.
Julie, what happens next with this bill?
Well, it's going to head to the House. They could take it up as soon as today. Remember, the deadline to take this package up is actually Friday, because of the procedural machinations of how this process works, given that it is so rare. You mentioned DOJ. Of course, that is a reason why they're trying to codify these spending cuts. $9 billion is really a drop in the bucket. And think about how difficult it is for them to put up the votes, because, of course, Democrats are not voting for this, not helping Republicans out, and get these packages passed. They wanted to target a lot more in cuts. You'll remember on the campaign trail, Elon Musk, back then when he was friendly with the president, was saying that they would cut close to $2 trillion. Obviously, that's not happening. They passed a multi-trillion-dollar package, Savannah, that adds money to the deficit. This is Republicans' attempts to begin to cut some of that spending. But again, just $9 billion, and still kind of a long road ahead.
Julie, also, let's talk about what else we might see today in other news. The Senate Judiciary Committee is expected to vote on a series of nominations later this morning. There's obviously always stuff to talk about here, but there is this one that's sort of controversial, some back and forth here. Tell us what you're watching.
Yeah, Mil Bovee, he is somebody that the president nominated to be for a lifetime appointment on the Third Circuit of Appeals. And he is controversial, Savannah, because of comments he's made in the past. He's the principal deputy attorney general for the Trump administration already. He was a lawyer for him. And he had suggested, according to whistleblowers that Democrats had tried to bring forward to stop this process. According to that whistleblower, he suggested that perhaps the Trump administration should defy court orders, specifically when it comes to the court rulings where they tried to counter the administration's efforts in deporting migrants to foreign countries where they have no relations to in some cases. Of course, we saw that play out so publicly with Kilmar Abrego Garcia. Democrats trying to stop this from going through, but it does sound like it will be successful. The Judiciary Committee is meeting this morning to process that nomination to the full floor for a vote. Tom Tillis, who was kind of that last holdout that we were watching, said yesterday he would vote for him. So it does seem like he is on a glide path to confirmation here, Savannah.
All right, Julie Sirkin, thank you so much.
We thank you for watching. And remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app, or watch live on our YouTube channel.